Welcome, Manga Seeker. What if I told you that within the walls and stacks of Barnes & Noble existed an entire nation of Manga Masters, who day by day call to seekers like yourself in hopes of finding someone to share their gifts with? Would you believe it? Follow us as we tell you a story of triumph and laughter where one man stumbles upon one of the greatest secrets known to Barnes & Noble. Let's begin our journey in New York City and watch as this young man discovers the secret for himself.
Doug, what is this? Who are you? What is this? What is this? What happened? What happened to Union Square? What's going on, man?
Welcome. You've been transported into the manga realm here at Barnes & Noble.
What? the manga, what, man, what?
Yes, the manga realm. My name's Hakeem, and I am the Manga Master here in Barnes & Noble and Rittenhouse in Philly.
All right. Look, man, I was in Union Square, right? New York, and you're telling me now I'm in some manga something in Philly. All I did was grab a book in Union Square, and what is this, man? What is this behind me? What is that? Is this a dojo?
Yes, we're in our manga realm here, and you obviously had you've been brought in to this world because you too are a manga seeker, and you must have been in search of a manga master, and here I am.
Well, this is blowing my mind, man. This is crazy.
Yeah. What book did you grab? What were you looking at?
Demon Slayer.
Ah, yes.
Demon Slayer #1.
I know that one well. No, that doesn't work. Okay. Have it right here. And I can tell you all you want to know about Demon Slayer Volume 1. So let's go. You're here. Let me impart some knowledge on you.
Wait, okay. I'm here. I get it. I'm here. You're gonna help me out with Demon Slayer. Thank you. Couldn't I just call customer service? Why am I here, man? Why did I get into this?
You really must. You must have felt my vibe, the energy, the passion that I have for this book. And I could talk about it all day. So you picked up on that energy that I must have been putting out.
You're right. Because I heard like a drum. I heard like this sound that was by this section, and
it must have transported you here.
Are there more than just here?
Yeah,
like it's
all over. We have Manga Masters in our stores that could transport you to different areas and different realms. So you're at the beginning of a very interesting journey.
This is crazy. This is nuts. All right. I guess let's make the best of it. I'm here, right? I guess So I picked up Demon Slayer because obviously I think I saw that the anime was on Netflix or something, and my buddy was telling me about it, and then I did a quick Google search. Everybody Googles, and it seems to be really, really popular. I guess. What am I looking for with Demon Slayer? What's happening there? Like, what is Demon Slayer?
Man, what is Demon Slayer? It is so much. It is one of the most popular and interesting manga that is out right now. It's super hot. to get you started, just to kind of give you a sense of what happens. Starts with the main character that it follows is a young boy who's the oldest child of a family of 5 kids. His name's Tanjiro Kamado. They live in Japan, and he goes out one day to sell some charcoal. His family lives out in the mountains, and they lost their father, but they still have the mom and his 5 siblings. So he goes out to sell some charcoal so that they can have some money for a New Year's feast. The family's very close knit, and you can see that in the very beginning of the title. When he returns, he goes back to the top of the mountain where his family lives and finds them slaughtered. And the only one who still is kind of grasping on to life is his younger sister, Nezuko. And that starts him on his journey of trying to help her, because it turns out that she's been turned into a demon. And these demons are man-eating creatures who devour humans, feast on their blood, and she's been infected and transformed into one of these. So he sets out on this journey to try to help her, and discovers that there's this whole core of people who have been battling against the demons for centuries. And he's determined to try to save her and turn her back into being a human. So, and it's one of the most interesting manga stories that I've ever read. And if you've, your friend has checked out the anime, the anime is one of the richest and most beautifully produced animes that's out there. It's actually, this past year was the #1 film in Japan, in Japanese history, actually.
Wow.
Beating out some other. Yeah.
Beat Godzilla?
No, it actually it beat out a movie called Spirited Away to become the #1 movie in Japanese history. So, or the top grossing movie. So it's an amazing story. Tanjiro, Nezuko, and some of the other characters that you meet along the way are just so compelling, and it's become one of my favorites. I read it over and over again, and I've watched the anime. So if you were drawn to that book, you just picked up something really special.
Wow. So the Demon Slayers, so they're fighting all these, they're Demon Slayers, core is what you call them. They're fighting all of these demons, and Tanjiro and his sister's name was Nezuko?
Yep, Nezuko. Mm-hmm.
So is she also a Demon Slayer, or what is she? She's a demon?
Yeah, not quite. Like what's special is Nezuko in the first time you meet her, obviously is someone with a huge heart and a lot of compassion and love for her family. When she transforms into a demon, demons then they sort of lose all of their humanity. But the one thing that Tanjiro is able to kind of connect to with her is her humanity, and she remembers who he is. And actually, when one of these demon slayers shows up and thinking that Tanjiro is being attacked by Nezuko in the beginning, because they were fighting, she actually resists this overwhelming urge to eat him, and actually attacks the demon slayer, who and attempts to protect him. One of the great things in the manga is this scene where she's on top of him and they're fighting and struggling. And as he's pleading with her not to attack him, you see a tear start to run from her eyes, and you realize that she's still in there. And the demon slayer that shows up, his name is Giyu Tomioka. And he's one of what you'll come to learn are an elite group within this group of demon slayers. And when he sees the protectiveness of Nezuko and Tanjiro for each other, he starts to wonder, could they be different? And could she be a different type of demon? And he takes pity on them, which is something demon slayers aren't supposed to do. They're supposed to hunt and kill demons because the demons are a threat to all humans. They had never really met demons that didn't eat humans, but for some reason, Giyu decides, I'm going to give these guys a chance, and I'm going to take him to a mentor to get trained and see if maybe this might be something that changes the course of thousands of years of struggle. And so he does this, and Tanjiro gets this. He meets his mentor, an interesting guy by the name of Sakonji Urokodaki, and he was a former demon slayer who's now kind of given up being one of these Hashiras, what they're called, and they're again the elite within the elite of these demon slayer fighters. And Urokodaki challenges Tanjiro, sends him up to the top of the mountain, and tells him that, if you can make it down by sunset, then I'll train you. What he doesn't tell him is when he sends him up there, there's a bunch of traps that he has to avoid. So while he's running down the mountain to get down by sunset, there's traps popping up all over the place, and he's got to, he's getting caught every single time, and but he makes it down by the end of the day. So Urokodaki says, "All right, I'm going to train you." And meanwhile, his sister is in a deep
earned his stripes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And actually, I skipped the part because the first time he actually meets Urokodaki, his sister and he were attacked by a man-eating demon that happened to be wandering in the mountains. And Tanjiro isn't equipped to fight this demon. He only has this hatchet that he's carrying with him. And what happens is he ends up beheading the demon, but doesn't have the aggressiveness within him to finish the job. And Urokodaki is watching, and he tells him that he needs to figure this out. He needs to figure out how he's going to kill this demon.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro sort of, he thinks about it all night, and in the morning, he's still kind of pondering it, and just can't bring himself to crush the demon's head with the stone that he sees, because he feels that would be a cruel way to end this demon's life. And he's a compassionate person. Well, when the sun comes up and just a little ray of sunlight hits this demon, it destroys them, because they're highly sensitive to the rays of the sun, and they only move at night.
So they're almost vampire-like?
Yes, very much so. And that's why he crafts a basket to carry his sister around, on his back, because she's able to transform and grow bigger or smaller as need be.
This sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, but it's very awesome. And that was one of the things that Urokodaki, the reason why he has to test him is to see, does he have the toughness to take on this training and to fight demons, and to have the strength of character and will that he needs in order to do this. So there's some tragedy in Urokodaki's past as well, because he was a mentor to other children, because the Demon Slayer Corps, they start young, and he lost a whole bunch of them and had decided he wasn't going to train anymore. So eventually, it takes months for Tanjiro to build up the strength to then continue his training and with the sword, he starts to evade the traps. He gets faster and quicker. And that's one of the things, that's a journey and a theme throughout this manga is Rokudaki or Tanjiro finding ways to get stronger and get faster as he finds new challenges. But he does master Rokudaki style, which is a water form style. One of the beautiful things about the manga is that everyone that becomes one of these 10 Hashira, they all have special abilities and special swordsmanship that they learn.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro's is the water form, and there's 10 forms of sword strikes and movements that he's able to do. And his, because a Rokudaki style is a water form, when he starts to do these forms, you see the water and the waves actually start to move and appear. And it's beautifully rendered and done. And when you watch the anime, they do a really great style where it almost looks like wood art or woodcut art from Japan. And that's one of the things that you first notice is how beautifully rendered this animation really, and how they ripped it right from the pages of the book, where the animation just looks like the book, and is seamless, which
that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So that, like
when I grabbed the cover, I saw a guy with like red hair, almost reddish brown hair, and I guess she looked like a vampire. Is that Tanjiro and Nezuko there on the cover?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on cover number 1, you've got Tanjiro holding his Nichiren sword, which is a special sword that is the only kind that can cut through a demon's flesh and actually kill them, and are made from a special ore. And Nezuko, who's on the cover as well, and you can kind of see the fangs there on her and her cute little hair bows. But yes.
So how does he deal with her eating humans?
So what ends up happening is initially they put a little kind of like a bamboo like muzzle in her within her teeth so that she can't attack. But while she's sleeping and while Tanjiro is training, Urokodaki actually uses a little bit of suggestion, power suggestion while she's sleeping to also let her know that to view all humans as her family. And you see this a few times in the series where when she's interacting with another human or even with some other demons that turn out to be sort of similar to her in that they don't attack humans.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be Lady.
So there's more demons like her that don't.
Only a couple. There's only a couple that you run into. Most of them are the man-eating kind. But there was a lady named Lady. Let me get it right here. I just said it. Now I'm forgetting. I'll come back to it. But she's able to, through some experimentation, remove the urge to kill and attack humans, even though she does have to survive on human blood. But Nezuko never eats a human, nor does she consume human blood. The way that she recharges her energy, which is why the demons eat humans, is to recharge their power and their energy. Nezuko has the ability to recharge through sleep. So she ends up sleeping for about 2 years while Tanjiro is going through this training to become a swordsman. And once he becomes one of the demon slayers, he comes back to Nezuko, and by this point she's lost any urge to attack humans because she sees them as her family. and they actually look like members of the family when she's looking through, at humans.
So she's not looking at him like a predator anymore. Now they're like her family, and she protects them.
Yes,
but she's using her demon powers to do that. I guess she's still.
No, she's using the humanity that's still within her. That and that love for Tanjiro, which keeps her grounded. And actually her anger over also remembering that her family was slaughtered by a demon, and that they're on this quest to find who did that and to exact justice. So
did they find that demon? I guess, who is that demon?
So the demon that attacked them is actually the first demon that was ever created. And he's a real bad character, like a real evil character, called Muzan Kibasuji. And Muzan is, he's like, if you took the emperor from Darth Vader and kind of multiplied him by 10, that's who this cat is. Just utterly ruthless, and somebody who can't even be trusted by his own minions. And the first time that you come across Muzan, he's actually living under a disguise almost. Because one of the cool things about Tanjiro is he has this really keen sense of smell, and he can smell changes in people to kind of let you know whether they're telling the truth or lying, fear, blood, and he can smell demons. So
is that a demon slayer thing? Like all of them can smell this way, or
no? Only some of them have have that sense of smell. Urokodaki has it, and so does Tanjiro. So it's one of the ways that he's able, even to use his sense of smell to find an opening in an opponent's defenses, so that he can attack them. So it's really cool how he does it. He calls it the opening thread. But one day when he's in the city, he smells a demon, and he realizes that this demon is unlike any other. But he also recognizes the scent from the scent of the demon that attacked his family when he discovered them.
So he put the two together and he found the guy. He found Muzan.
Like, I know who this is. This is him. It's this Muzan. So, but when he rose up on Muzan, guess what? Muzan has a human family. He has a wife and a child with him, and he looks like any normal human, just kind of walking around. And Tanjiro confronts him, and he's like, "I know who you are." And Muzan plays it real cool. He's like, "I don't think so. You might have me mixed up with someone else. It wasn't me." And as Tanjiro is confronting him, Muzan, with like in a blink of an eye, attacks somebody that happens to be wandering by, and transforms that man into a demon by infecting his wound with a little bit of his blood. That's how demons get created, by having
Muzan's creating all of these demons. Like
he's creating all of these. Mm-hmm. And then he's elevating some of them to an upper echelon, which is called the 12 Kizuki. And these 12 Kizuki are his elite demons that he sends out into the world to wreak havoc. But he, even just with a quick scratch on this man's neck and a couple of drops of his blood, he's able to turn this guy into a man-eating demon who starts to attack his wife. And Tanjiro has a conundrum that he has to then decide whether he pursues Muzan, or if he tries to stop this man from killing his wife and potentially creating even more demons right there on the street. So he decides to help the man, and that's when he first encounters these other two demons, Lady Tamayo and Yushiro, who are, unlike other demons, not possessing the urge to slaughter and kill humans. He's actually a doctor.
So they're like Nezuko then. In that point, they're not attacking anybody at that. Mm-hmm. So let me see if I understand this right. If I got the gist of what happened here. So Nezuko was turned into a demon by Muzan, who slaughtered Tanjiro's family, and Tanjiro stumbled upon in the beginning. And he realizes that his sister is a demon, and so he sets out to save her. And when he sets out to save her, a demon slayer saw them and tried to kill Nezuko because she was a demon, but then realized that she's not a regular demon, and so he let them live and told Tanjiro to become a demon slayer?
Right.
Or did he like...
Yeah, he lets them live really with the idea that that they may be a little bit different, and he realizes that this boy, Tanjiro, him and his sister may possess maybe just something that might change the course of what's happening there, because he sees how protective they are of each other. Something that he's never seen. He's never seen a demon protect a human the way that she protects him, or a human fight so hard to protect a demon that could kill him, in a second. And that's one of the things that you see as this theme, is that strong family bond between the two of them. Tanjiro, as the eldest brother, like willing to die, willing to do anything to protect his little sister, and his little sister, who has nothing but undying affection for him and protectiveness and love that transcends her being turned into a blood hungry demon with all these powers.
So how many volumes are there? Because I picked up volume 1, I think was what I was looking at in the store. Mm-hmm. How many volumes
I believe right now the printed volumes are up to printed volume 20. There's still a few more to go before the series wraps up. But that's kind of where we're at right here in terms of what's been printed and translated.
20 volumes?
Yeah, it's huge. And the anime goes all the way up until the Mugen Train story arc, and then there's a movie, like I told you, that picks up from there and kind of tells that story arc before the anime picks up for season 2. So there's still a lot more great stuff coming.
Oh man, yeah, this sounds like an amazing franchise, man. I'm actually super happy that you summoned me here.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, are there more Demon Slayers, or is it just Tanjiro?
Yes, that's the cool thing about the series is, you first get introduced to Tanjiro and Nezuko, and you're following them along, and then you come to find these other characters that form a core group, and that core group is they become good friends of Tanjiro and Nezuko's. One of them being Zenitsu, who's a really interesting character. He's a demon slayer.
Funny name.
And the demon slayer Inosuke, who is another one of those like crazy characters. I don't know if I've ever kind of come across someone as unique as him. I'll kind of give you a little flavor of what makes them so unique. In addition to the other Hashira that you come to discover, who are these elite demon slayers who all have their own unique looks and abilities. But the cool thing about Zenitsu, when you first meet him, he is a sniveling coward. This guy, you wonder how did he make it through the final selection, because he's afraid of his own shadow. He's so cowardly. He spends most of his time whining anytime there's something going on, and he gets so frantic when he's faced when he encounters a demon for the first time that he gets super. He just starts to go crazy, and he's crying and screaming, and then my man passes out, lights out. But then that's when it gets interesting for Zenitsu, because what you come to find is that he sleepwalks, and when he's asleep and sleepwalking is when he's not afraid anymore, and his true power comes out. He has this ability. He learns his form is thunder breathing, whereas Tanjiro's is water breathing.
Water breathing, yeah.
Thunder and lightning. He can move fast, and he has these powerful attacks. But the funny thing about Zenitsu is he's only mastered one form. Like I told you with Tanjiro, there are 10 forms.
Yeah.
Zenitsu only knows one, but when you see my man fight, that's all he needs. That's all he needs. Yeah.
He sounds cool. He sounds cool.
He's very cool. But then when he wakes up, he doesn't even know what happened. It's like, wait. He fights the demon for the first time and doesn't even know that he beat him afterwards. He thinks it's the other kid that was with him, which is interesting. And then Inosuke, how do I describe Inosuke? Inosuke is a guy who is his mother has to abandon him as a child, and thinks that she basically because she can't afford to sort of take care of them both, and it's really tragic. She attempts to end both of their lives. But she only ends up ending hers, and Inosuke gets lost out in the woods, where he's raised by wild boars. So once he becomes a demon slayer, but you see him the first time you encounter him, he wears a boar's head as his garb. In essence, no shirt, runs around, just pants on, and he's got these wild swords that he's made into like these really jagged, almost saw-like blades, and he has double swords. He's one of the few double sword wielders that you see. But Inosuke is totally wild, kind of devoid or not really connecting to human emotions at all, and just lives for the battle. Just wants to fight. Just wants to prove how strong he is. And it isn't until he connects with Tanjiro and Zenitsu and Nezuko that he starts to sort of reconnect with what it means to be human, what it means to care for others, to protect. And he gets actually inspired a lot of times by Tanjiro. And the funny thing about Inosuke is he's always mispronouncing people's names. So Tanjiro gets called a name. Zenitsu gets called all kinds of names because he can't pronounce anything. He doesn't know how to read. But he's also one of these characters who's got like one of the biggest hearts and the biggest ego. And again, just never wants to back down in a battle. So
he sounds like my kind of guy. I like Inosuke already. I like Inosuke already.
Yeah, he's something else. So I like Inosuke in addition to some of the other Demon Slayers that you encounter, and you find out that the Demon Slayer Corps was essentially put together by a family that has been instructing and selecting, from childhood into adulthood, these children to go out there and to be the secret corps that isn't affiliated with the police or the government. They're just out there because they know that these demons exist and someone's got to control
that. This series sounds amazing, man. And look, whatever energy you put out into the world that summoned me here and got me to pick up this book, I thank you for it, because I'm gonna devour this, not like a demon. I'm gonna devour this. I'm gonna devour this title, man. I'm gonna jump into this, man. Well, thank you, Hakeem. Thank you so much. And there are more of you in here in Barnes and Noble. Like, is it like per title? Like, can I go pick up like, I don't know, Naruto or something? And this is amazing. This is amazing.
Oh yes. There are many of us. We are all over the place. So I encourage you to pick up more titles and see what manga masters you discover, and help them educate you on just why this art form and these stories are just so compelling and becoming so popular now.
Oh, this is great, man. Well, I'm gonna kick off Demon Slayer. So not that I hate to be that guy, but how do I get back home, man? Like how am I get out of here? You summoned me here. How am I get out of here, dude?
Just think on it. Just think on how do you getting back to home, and how excited you are to have those books in your hand and start reading, and you'll be transported back.
Okay, I guess I could think on it. I'm gonna do like the whole Wizard of Oz thing, and no place like home, and the no place like home, and maybe that'll work for me.
And I'm gonna give you a little extra. I'm gonna give you a little extra help, a little extra push here. Okay, so
all right, now let me try this. All right, so
get a hand sign going.
All right, what am I? I'm going. All right, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do this whole no place like home, no place like home, no place. It's not happening. I'm not seeing it.
Now I know why you're not able to go, because you need some refreshment after being here in the dojo. So I'm going to send you to our cafe where you can get yourself a latte or a refresher, maybe even a cookie. So here we go. Get ready, and soon you will be ready.
Ready for it.
Just